my words a little better? We've got audio. I'm seeing a little bit of audio. Let's see. Jared saying we got some audio. That's a good sign. Diana Gladney shouting out the best silent movie ever. You didn't know you were going to get into that at all, did you? Oh, man. You know, fortunately, guys, you can bear with me, and this is probably going to go down in history as one of my favorite live streams that I've ever done. So it's a blast. All right, so it looks like we're good. I'm just going to adjust my volume slightly. I don't want to be running too hot for those of you that might be having headphones or anything. I don't want to blow out your eardrums. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So now, back to the very top. If you guys have questions, hit some questions. Let me know what you've got. I will get to them and I will start answering them. And I'm going to kick right off with the beginning. This was the very first question that I got. It comes from Lori Brumfield. Lori, you're awesome. Thanks for sticking with me. And I will answer this. What is on your bucket list? Okay, so on my bucket list, the first things that I would love to do is probably some trips. So for me, trips would be one of those things that I would love to go see Israel, obviously. I think Israel is an amazing place. There's so much Christian heritage there, and there's so many insights that I've only read about and heard about, but I've never seen it first person, and so I would love to do that. I would also love to just visit all of England, primarily the Netherlands and Ireland, because that's kind of where my heritage comes from, and so I think those would be fun to just kind of go visit those places. Apart from trips, on the bucket list, I would say the first thing, and it's going to happen this year. I'm calling it out right now. I've mentioned that when I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm jumping out of a perfectly good airplane and going skydiving, and so that's how I'm going to celebrate these things. So that's one of them I've had on my bucket list for a long time, and I would just love to do that. Apart from that, there's not a ton of things that I really want or look forward to do, other than just, seeing things. Anytime I get somewhere or I've got the opportunity to go, I just love to go and check it out and do different things. So I hope that kind of answers that question. That would be what's on my bucket list. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll through probably 3 pages of comments here until I can get to where we're kind of catching up. So trying to figure it all out. Let's go back here. Not getting any volume, not getting any volume. Diana Gladney saying, nope, I'm still reading your lips. Aaron pulling audios with me, can't hear anything. And you can see me great. That's obviously a primary thing when we're going for video. All right, here we go. Interactive media. What is it like being a father? It is... Yes. Think about pretty much every emotion you could possibly go through, and that's what it is. It is amazing. It's very rewarding. It's very challenging. It can be very stressful. Like tomorrow, my oldest daughter turns 16 tomorrow. Sweet 16. Yes, y'all, I am that old to have a 16-year-old daughter. I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but yeah, that's the thing. So I'm starting to go through that. She also has a form of autism. She's on the autism spectrum. They technically classify it PDD-NOS, which is just a pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. So somewhere on the scale, but they can't quite hit a pinpoint on it. So when you add in everything that 16-year-olds tend to be, when you add in some of the challenges that you ladies understand just being a challenge. This isn't an insult by any means, but I think we all understand, and you know more than we do, that once a month, all of a sudden the hormones change and things just don't make sense. And so when I've got that and the autism and teenager all wrapped into one, it's fun. But it really is. It's also neat because you get to help mold these tiny little humans into full-fledged adults to really just continue to share God's love, and to see how they do that. It is a very rewarding process. So It's kind of cool. I really enjoy that aspect of it. Let's see what we've got here for another one. Ernie Hernandez, what the topics of some of the videos that you want to do in the near future? Ooh, that's a good one. So as far as topics go, some of the stuff that I would love to really kind of tackle are not necessarily big topics and themes as much as just trying to interact with other people and also just kind of sharing my life. I would like to start to bring in a little bit of not just marriage advice, but some relationship advice, because it's something that my wife and I work with in one of our other jobs. And I would also, in with some of that relationship, is to start to bring in some of the personality types. I've been training recently, not only on the Myers-Briggs personality assessments, but also just started learning more about the Enneagram personality types. And so I take a unique approach where I kind of look at it from not only what human understanding has, but also what the Bible has, and really just try to line those up. So I'd like to do some of that stuff, and mostly I just want to keep bringing content that just encourages you guys. So I'm open for just about anything and everything. I think the main thing is I really want to just try to bring more content, more ideas and topics of how people can actually live out their faith. And so as my daily vlogs go, when I have the opportunity to really capture some of that, which can be hard to do, that's something that I would really like to just show everybody. And so I'm looking forward to that one. Scroll down here, we got some more, having trouble with the audio. Yes. While they were waiting, if you guys did not see this, Lori Brumfield saying, if you are a Christian YouTuber, make sure you join our Facebook group called Christian Video Creators. And if you're watching this in the replay, I'm actually going to put a link for it down in the description below on YouTube, so you'll be able to check that out as well. Hopefully I can link it even on Facebook as well. So Lori having Dunkin' Donuts. See guys, here's the thing. I actually missed out on my coffee. It is in the kitchen, it is brewed right now, and I'm not drinking it. I'm just stuck with a glass of water for now. So, there's my dog. Come here, Flower. So she's barking if you guys heard that. Here, for those that might remember her from the silent vlog, the original one, this is Flower. She's a Pouchon. Okay, go lay down. So, what's the topic tonight? Looking. Folger's Colombian roast is good to me. Yes. Looks good. All right, I think we're catching up here. I'm getting it. Where was it? Right here. Yeah, Aaron back there. It is your first live with me. Yes. Glad to have you here, brother. So this is going to be fun. All right, now we're back to finally page 1. Jared saying, "No way, you're nuts." I'm assuming that is in response to me jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. Would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane for me if I came down to Texas to do it with you? I'm just wondering. All right, Aaron, can Christians be sarcastic? Can they? Absolutely. I can be very sarcastic. Is sarcasm necessarily the best way? I would say we have to be careful with sarcasm. And really any type of figure of speech like that we can be very careful with, because some people will just take everything we say literal. So I would say that we definitely want to be careful with that approach and make sure that, especially with sarcasm, because oftentimes you're saying something that you don't really mean, and as long as people understand that's what you're trying to do, I don't see that as being deceptive or lying, because they kind of know that's what it is. But if they don't know, that's where the problem lies in. So I hope that kind of gives you some ideas on where I stand on that. Unknown years, I've been skydiving. It was awesome, but you'll never do it again? What? Come on. That would be amazing. All right, so there we also go. We got Lori saying the thought of it just terrifies you. Oh, Lori, I don't know about that. She said, I've been hand gliding, but not sky. See, that would be something else I would love to do. I would love to go hand gliding because that just sounds fun. Anything that can kind of give me a thrill, I'm all about. Diana, skydiving's on my list too. Yes, I completely agree. It looks so much fun, and I just can't wait to do it. So, Matt Jacobson in the house saying going to Israel will change the way you read scriptures. I am absolutely confident that that is the truth right there for you. I don't doubt it one deal. So. Okay, so Lori, how old is your youngest? My youngest, I messed up this week. I was actually going to upload the vlog yesterday and I got behind. So I'm hoping I can get it tomorrow. Chances are it's going to be Friday. She actually just turned 9 years old. I have no idea where the time flies, but yeah. So that's kind of what it is. She's 9 years old. I've got one turning 16 tomorrow. I've got my middle daughter turning 11 beginning of April, and then my son will be turning. No, is that right? No, my youngest just turned 10. Did she turn 10? Or is she 9? I got to try to remember here. No, she's 9. So then the middle turns 9, and then the oldest will turn 14. And if I'm wrong, my wife will yell at me. But yeah, that's kind of how that is. I'm pretty sure that's kind of where their ages are. So yes, I'm 37, if I do the math correctly. And yes, I do have a 16-year-old daughter. So whether you can believe it or not, that's just the way it is. Let's say, okay, Lori's saying they really don't make sense to you since you are a dude. Yes. I completely agree. I am not a dude. I am a dude, so I don't understand a lot of those hormonal things, like you say. It doesn't make sense to you either. However, fellas, husbands especially, this does not excuse you because the scripture says that we as husbands are to live with our wives in an understanding way. Doesn't mean we do understand them, but it means that we're supposed to live in a way that we're trying to understand them. So, that's kind of what it is. Ernie's saying, so bad at typing things out. Dude, don't worry about the spelling errors. I do it all the time, especially when we've got these little screens and we're supposed to try to use thumbs to try to do it. Man, that can be so rough. All right, let's catch up here. Diana saying, where are we at? 30, still plenty to figure out, definitely tough during the teen years. Yes, it is. All right, so we'll go back to interactive media. What are your top news sources? Ooh, that's a really good one. I would say the first source of news I get is Twitter. So anytime that kind of hits, that's the first. It's where I get it right off the bat. After that, let's see. I really do just kind of the local news, so it could be our local NBC or CBS are kind of the two that I do, even a local Fox affiliate. Those would be kind of the primary ones. And then online, I'll wind up using like the Christian Post. Occasionally, I'll do some Fox News. And really Yahoo News or even just the Google News. I just kind of put it all out there and filter through everything I can. So that's kind of how I do it. That's where we're at on that. Okay. I think we're catching up here onto this. Flower is so cute. Yes, she is so cute, but those poodle breeds, or maybe it's the Bichon thing with all that white fur, man, they get tear stains really easy. So I'm going to zoom in really close on you guys for just a second, because the one bad thing about some of these flip out screens is you wind up focusing on them too much, and then you're not even looking into the eyeballs of the people that are trying to view you. So that's what I'm doing. Ernie, I'm going to jump out of the plane. Yes, on your bucket list. And yeah, exactly. So, Lori, following up, sarcasm, maybe with friends. And so I've got friends that I will use a lot of sarcasm with if it's somebody that I don't know. I'm not doing it. I don't want it to be taken the wrong way and have them think that that I'm trying to deceive them, trying to lie, or anything like that. And so they may not understand the subtleties, especially, and sarcasm is very hard because it requires not only the words, but it requires the tone of voice and a lot of times the facial expressions to really convey that meaning. So it's virtually impossible through most social media. Jared, why? Not a prayer, not a prayer. You will not jump out of an airplane with me. Man, I don't know what's going on. So, all right, I'm going to keep going down here. Here we go. Lori, yours are 11, 7, and 8 weeks. 3 boys and same age too. Yeah, I mean, that's 3 boys. I got 3 girls, 1 boy stuck in the middle. I feel bad for him a lot of times because he is so outnumbered, especially with me doing ministry and traveling and moving around quite a bit, and I'm always on the go. So he's constantly. I keep looking over here. The dog's going crazy on the. I have no idea what she's going. So, anyways, true, you may not understand her, but you still have to give her grace. Yep, absolutely. Interactive media, I think you're trying to use a little sarcasm there, saying that you are ready. All right, and we've got ready for him. I miss your keto videos. Ooh. So for those that didn't know, a couple years back, how's this been? This has been like 3 years ago, I guess. Which now makes me think, Lori, you had actually posted in the Christian Video Creators about the first video we uploaded to YouTube, and I guess I took that for the YouTube channel. But I actually did start a YouTube channel a few years back before I had any idea what it was, and I wasn't planning on using it for YouTube really, as much as just a free place to host videos. And it was when I was starting my ketogenic diet, so I wound up posting a few on there. And I am going to grab my dog. Hold that thought. Okay, so we're back to a dog live stream because apparently she does not like things that are outside or whatever's going on. So yeah, I had created that that channel just to kind of host some things and really kind of try some things out. But then I just stopped uploading it, partially because I pronounced it as keto. No, keto. Keto as in ketogenic diet. And so I had done that channel primarily to kind of for my own personal benefit and some of those that were real close to me. When I was doing it, I wound up losing, what was it? I think 80 pounds in a year. Wound up losing a total of about 100 pounds over a 2-year period. And I had a lot of friends and family asking me how I did it because they know I was too busy to exercise. And so I did it with diet alone. However, getting older, the metabolism's kind of slowed down a little bit, starting to catch up with me, and I haven't been as consistent as I really ought to be. So because of that, I've actually packed on about 30 more pounds, and so just yesterday I started a new 30-day challenge, and I'm hoping to get back under 200 pounds. So that's kind of my goal. Not sure if I'm going to be able to, how much weight, I guess. I know I'm going to drop a lot, and I will get under 200. That's not a problem. But whether or not I'll be able to do it in order to, or in that 30 days or not, yeah, I'm not quite sure. But I'm definitely going to try it. So, yeah, so ready for him. Cool to know that you're here and that you came over from there. Let's see, we got Interactive Media saying you should check out the Daily Wire. All right, I'll have to do that, see what that's all about. So that'll be kind of fun. Let's see, ready. My church asked me to lead a keto home group. We would watch your videos. I'm at 136 pounds so far. Awesome. That is amazing. That is so glad to hear. So I'm glad to know that you kind of came over here. I might in the future on this channel throw in something about it. I haven't quite decided because it's kind of off of some of mine, but it'll be in more of a general sense because I do think it's definitely beneficial for all of us as Christians to realize that, like it says in, 1 Corinthians, that do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit? And for me, This is one that I had actually done this just a couple days ago. I wound up posting, actually it was yesterday, I posted a very, very vulnerable picture of me. It's me without a shirt on, and I was really ashamed of how I had let myself go. And if you've seen one of my other vlogs, I did a vlog back in June, and it was about modesty and how modesty is not just for females, and really guys should be thinking about that too. So that's kind of my personal opinion on it. And then here I go posing a male topless photo on the internet. And it was kind of difficult for me to do it, but the reason that I had chose to do that was I realized my only reasoning for covering it up was, well, there were two reasons. One, I would cover myself up primarily because I was ashamed of the way I looked. I realized that I had done a lot of physical damage to my body because of my laziness and not treating my body as a vessel for God to use. And then secondarily, I would want to cover up because I wouldn't want to be a stumbling block for some people. But since I've posted that, I've had so many people that have kind of commented back on how much they appreciated that vulnerability for me and how much it encouraged them to really start making steps in their own journey. And so that was the main reason I did want to do it, because I knew it would. I knew for somebody to kind of put that out there like that, it could encourage some people. So that's kind of what I did. Okay, so let's see here. We've got this one from the Unknown Years. Do pets or animals go to heaven? If you watch the cartoon movies, all dogs go to heaven. Honestly, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you that for sure, primarily because I haven't found definitive scripture in the Bible that confirms or denies it. So it's not something that I've ever really wanted to kind of stick a flag in and say, this is what I believe. When you look at Revelations, it does have a lot of imagery in there and talks about animals, so it's quite possible, but I really don't know as far as that goes. So let's see, Aaron saying, no, they don't. Yeah, so, ooh, hey, interactive media, you caught the sarcasm there. Yes, there is a Christian doing some sarcasm. Would you stop giving me kisses? All right, ooh, so here's one I wanted to kind of pull up, and I've got to check this out from the phone. You lay there. So this one I've got to pull up on Twitter if I can. I actually had somebody just before the live stream went, posted a picture, sent me a private message, and they had a question, and it says, if you could, in reference to your live stream, I have a question. Divorce. It's not involving me, but a friend. Have no clue what to say to this guy. Understand that if someone cheats, then yeah, it's okay to divorce. Doesn't the blood of Jesus forgive all sin? What exactly happens to a believer if they divorce? One believer divorces their spouse because the other moves out. The person that moves out regrets getting married. They're 19, 20. I've been studying this with another pastor, and I'm not sure what would happen to the believer if he would just divorce the person that left. Did that make sense? For the most part, that makes sense. There's some of the intricacies there that I'm not quite sure of, but I'm going to stick a pen in that real quick. Diana, I did not see your question, but I'm going to look back down here. Ooh, there, wait, yeah, we go. All right, so I've got that kind of queued up, ready to go here in just a second. Okay, so as far as the divorce thing goes, here's the thing, and because we work in a marriage ministry, my wife and I do, we deal with couples that are all the way across the spectrum. So they have fantastic marriages and those that they are filing divorce, or even some that have been divorced and are trying to reconcile. So everything in between we've dealt with. And I kind of put it like this. When I looked at what Jesus said when he says, he gives the qualifications for a divorce, if you actually read what Jesus says, he says that Moses gave you these exceptions, and it was because of the hardness of our heart. Now, that being said, I truly believe that the vast majority of divorce has no biblical grounds for it, and you never should. In this situation, if I was the person where my spouse left and they just kind of left me hang, am I going to file for divorce? Absolutely not. I'm not. I mean, if they left me, I'm not filing for divorce. It's not going to happen. And if they file for divorce, I'm going to still try to fight for the marriage at that point until the point when some judge says, no, these are irreconcilable differences and I'm going to issue it anyways. So for me personally, I would continue to fight for my marriage no matter what, even if I think I made a mistake when I was younger. Because I truly believe that love has nothing to do with feelings. It has nothing to do with emotions. I believe that love has absolutely everything to do with a choice and then actions based on that choice. And so whether or not you were a Christian when you made the choice to marry somebody or not, you still made it. And if it was done in the eyes of God, he's going to try to say, you need to kind of fulfill on that. So for me, that's what I would always recommend. Even in the case of adultery, it is clear through the Bible that, yes, that's God's going to say, here you go. Yes, Moses acting on my behalf did say this, but he wanted to make sure, Jesus did, that we understood the reasoning behind that was because of people having the hardness of their heart. Basically, they just wanted an easy way out and they didn't want to have to deal with the difficulty. So that's kind of where I come in on this, and I've seen many marriages that have been of the place of filing for divorce, and yet when both husband and wife will set their eyes on Jesus and Jesus alone, when they do that, instead of focusing on each other or focusing on themselves, but focus on Jesus, I have seen couple after couple after couple come out of that divorce path and straight to a path where they have a great marriage. So it's really just all about obeying God and doing his will. So for this couple, my type of a recommendation would be for them is to distract them and kind of deter them off of the topic of divorce. Don't ever let somebody that you're counseling biblically or discipling biblically, I'm not even going to say counseling because I kind of hate that word. I believe that we're called to disciple people, all of us as Christians. And so when you're giving them counsel, when you're giving them advice, when you're giving them discipline as discipling them, what I believe we should do is always turn them back on just obey God. Stop talking about this. Stop saying the what ifs. What are you doing right now? Are you obeying God? Yes or no? And that's just something that I picked up from my personal mentor, my marriage mentor. I call him up all the time. And if I'm complaining about something in my life, his first question never fails. Josh, are you obeying God? And that usually ends the conversation right there because I realize I'm not. So there we go. Okay, go back over here. Diana saying, my question is, how would you coach a new Christian that is heavily into horoscopes and how it affects you as a person? I find a lot of younger people are really into it, but I also disagree with it. So I've not dealt with a ton of this, but I have dealt with a little bit of it. And the way that I kind of go about with that for most people, when they're talking about their horoscopes or anything like that, I've just always kind of just tried to explain my opinion on where that came from. And it's not getting into the history of it as much as the principle behind it. And what it is it's really people trying to explain things that happen in their life or give them a sign to what should happen in their life. They're trying to explain the things that have happened or find a path to the things that should happen without going to the source directly. And so that's kind of my thing. It's basically, for me, I'm like, why would you go this path when you have the real thing right here? It's like, for me, why would I take an instant pack of Folgers when I got my Keurig that I could brew something up? Or I've got my Chemex, or I've got my French press, or I've got my espresso. Why would you try to take a substitute? And a lot of people don't ever think about it that way. And so I really start to ask the few that have done it, the few that I've talked to, why do you like horoscopes so much? And the two answers that I've gotten, so it's not like I've done this a ton, but the two answers I've got was, one, I just wanted to know if I'm going to have a good day. And I was like, okay, well, the Bible gives you a lot of different verses about how if we set our minds on Him, He will give us the peace, the joy, the comfort, the strength to go through it. And even Romans talking about all things work together for the good. So that's kind of one of those things that I try to take that. So the other one is not just, I want to know if I'm going to have a good day, but I kind of want to know why I am this way and some of my personality and the things like that. And it helps me connect to people. And again, I just say go to the Bible, because it's like, this is the place where you're going to get the most accurate information about human beings, how they think, how they work. It's going straight to the source. It's going to the one who created us. So that's kind of the path that I take on how to do that and how to kind of help people out. So, all right, we got another one here. And guys, we're probably going to go for about another 10 minutes or so, maybe 15. So if you got questions, go ahead, drop them into the comment section below. I think we're rolling pretty good with connecting on these. So whether you are catching me live here on YouTube, on Periscope, aka Twitter, or if you're over there on Facebook, you can drop in any of those as well. And I've got you on all three places. You ask the question, we'll bring it up, and we'll try to do my best to answer it. So here we go, and it's off the shelf book reviews. What was the most successful mistake that you made? Ooh. Most successful mistake that I've made. Most successful mistake. Huh. Man, you may have stumped me, brother. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about that. Ooh, the most successful mistake. Oh, man. Okay, so, man, I don't know for sure if it would be the most successful. That's where it catches me up. I can be a very literal person and take things so literally, so the most successful is probably not the best. Here I will say what is one of the successful mistakes that I've made. So one of the successful mistakes that I did wind up making was at our church, and we were looking at doing this remodel. And so here's where this is kind of odd, and I'm going to talk about this mistake, because we were at the church, we are doing this remodel, and it was just for the men's bathroom. We're trying to get things cleared up, trying to, put some new flooring down, put some new wall paneling out, changing out the fixtures and all of that stuff. And while we're doing it, we got, I think, 5, 6 guys, and it's just a small, one stall bathroom, and we're getting it all put together. And this is Saturday night, and we're getting way into the light, and people just start dropping off one after another. They keep leaving. And here I am. I think it was 2 a.m. About 2 a.m. And I'm down to the final roll of this vinyl peel and stick tiles. And it needed to be scored and trimmed just a little bit because it was just a little bit too wide. And so I've got it down on the floor, I've got the razor blade out, I've got my straight edge, and there I go, and it catches a bird, jumps up, and choppy on the thumb. Now, the thumb's okay, but it wasn't that night. As soon as I hit, you can imagine what happens. And I picked up what I could, and I ran in and I shoved my thumb in a bag of ice, and I hopped in the car and I drove to the hospital, and they wound up healing me up and taking care of me, and I had to drive a half hour home and walk in at, this is probably 4 a.m. and I've got to preach in just a few hours, and walk back into the house, tell my wife I'm okay, but I tried to hack off the tip of my thumb. And because of that, it was like, it hurt. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have been there by myself. I shouldn't have bit off more than I could chew. I shouldn't have done any of that on my own, especially without having somebody else there. the way that it brought me success was I tend to be the person that wants to do everything myself. And so I was trying to do it all myself. And because of that, I had to learn that no, I can't do it all by myself, and I do need help. And so the success came in that I was forced from there on out to really rely on people and ask people for help. And so the success came from it being a humbling experience to me, and it has helped in so much because now I don't have a problem with a little bit of failures and not meeting deadlines. And if I was trying my hardest but I didn't quite make it, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And so that's kind of how the success came from me. So I really kind of appreciated that. So I hope that kind of answers it. I'm going to be thinking about that one because I'm a stickler for words, and you were asking what was the most, so I'm going to have to figure that one as well. So, all right, let's see here. Scroll down just a couple more here. Let's see. Yes, I like that. Just seems that people are searching for meaning in something random. Absolutely. People are constantly, and this goes back to the horoscope thing, people are constantly looking for explanations in the creation rather than in the one that created them. And it's like, you can't do that. I mean, you've got to go to the source if you truly want to know what's what. So I don't know why people do that, but it's just kind of crazy. So, Lori checking out. See you later. Screaming baby who's fighting sleep big time. Ooh, yeah, you get there. You take care of him. All right, and let's see here. We got Aaron. Aaron, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Chocolate chip cookie dough. That's it. It's chocolate chip cookie dough. Unfortunately, because of me being on this ketogenic diet, I don't get chocolate chip cookie dough ever. Because when I was getting chocolate chip cookie dough, I was eating way too much of the chocolate chip cookie dough, so I got to leave it alone. But yeah, that's kind of it. So I want to scroll back down through here one more time. If you guys have got any last questions, go ahead and drop them in here. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss any. Let's see, going. Interactive. Who was your favorite YouTuber? Who is my favorite YouTuber? That's kind of a tough one. Because I would have to kind of define it more by genres, I think. If you're wanting to know who's my... I think the YouTuber out there that probably gives me the most value for what I'm doing, it's probably Casey Neistat. And so he's probably my favorite. Doesn't mean I watch him all the time, but I would say he's my favorite because, quite frankly, Casey Neistat taught me, a preacher, a lot about preaching, because he's always talking about how the story is the most important thing and how you really need to craft the story. And so that has helped me a ton in doing it. As far as like the back end on YouTube and stuff like that, it's kind of a toss-up between Sean Cannell and Tim Schmoyer. Love those guys and what they're doing. Ooh, Roberto Blake is doing some amazing stuff, and he really helps me out. Gets my mind thinking outside of the box. And then, for like specific help and encouragement, answering people's questions, there's a couple of them, honestly, that have been here in the live stream. Diana Gladney does some amazing things. I love her live streams, love her Q&As. She's always got this great spirit about her where she's just encouraging people. And Abida Brownie. I watch every single video that Abida Brownie puts out there. Doesn't matter. They're one of the few channels that I do have out there that I have got the bell rang. My phone is always blowing up being in ministry, so I don't ring the bell for a lot of people, but they've got the bell. So there you go. Looking down here through one more time. Let's see if I got anything else. I think I might have got most of these taken care of. So I'm hoping we got that there, guys. So, well, anywho, here we go. Wait. Diana. Yes, this is an amazing one. Your favorite food on the keto diet? Bacon. Just bacon. That's it. Bacon is my favorite food on the keto diet. It's something that I have with so much. I am glad that I am not Jewish for that reason alone, because right here in my hometown, we've got a Hormel plant, and every Tuesday morning, Monday nights, they're curing the bacon. So every Tuesday morning, wake up, open the front door, and it smells like Hormel Black Label bacon. That's my favorite food. So I use bacon on everything. We wrap, asparagus in bacon. We'll do a bacon weave over top of things, crumbles on things, lots of omelets. So I do a ton of bacon. Man, I got onto the keto diet when it was actually one of my mentors, and he had kind of explained what diet he was on, and I was like, hold on a second. You mean I can still eat bacon, butter, and beef, and have as much coffee as I want? Sign me up. So that's where we went. So anywho, guys, thank you so much for being here. I apologize tremendously for all of the delays and the issues, the audio lags and whatnot at the beginning. I'm still kind of figuring this vMix thing out. We'll get it. I'm not quite sure what I did, but I guarantee it's my fault. It's a user thing. It's not the program, because it did exactly what I needed it to do after I figured out where my issue was. So just some there with a USB mic and a virtual audio cable that's causing issues. So I'll get that figured out. I'll get it hashed out. We'll be back again for a live stream next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I'm going to commit to you guys right now that I will have the vlog with Micah's birthday by Friday morning, 10 a.m. You can count on it. It will be there. If not, I'm going to have a little girl who is going to have my hide because of it. So there you go. Just want to encourage y'all to stay blessed, enjoy God's best, and you please do have a fantastic week.